to talk about grafting, I like to start with Mario Fregoni. Everyone in Italia knows him. We know him in Spain. But I put him because I usually use this slide in my presentations. It was in Italian with my students because I like to explain the life cycle of a vine. And one year I was teaching and I saw, okay, this is the phases of the life cycle of the vineyard, grafted. And below, Mario Fregoni was saying that if it was unrooted vineyard, it was seculare, was for centuries, was living for centuries. And this is really very interesting because here, between phylloxera and the observations of Mario, we have the crisis and the need of using grafting. There are many different books that were concerned about the relevance of grafting because they had to learn, Rabat, Bermorel, and I like very much Lucien Daniel books because he was really worried about the implications of grafting on the lifespan of the vineyards. In this book, he says things that never are we going to have back vineyards as old as they were. Okay? It was very clear for him that the vine that was grafted was getting old faster, okay? And many other comments regarding the implication of grafting on the performance, because living longer is living better. Everyone say, oh, I want to live to the 80 years very well and then die in the following day, but it doesn't work like that. Okay? If you live longer, you usually live better, okay? And it's the same for the vines, okay? And they were very, very concerned about what they call the burrelé in French. That is like the group of cells that make the connection, and the fact that sometimes you get like a small group that difficults connection. So in this time, okay, we had the phylloxera crisis. We had an invisible crisis that has made that the life of our vineyard is getting lower, lower, and lower, okay? So, everyone said that it's because of the trunk diseases, okay? The grapevine trunk diseases. And there are a lot, okay? 5 years ago, there were like more than 100 detected in Spain, fungi associated to trunk diseases. But these, they were not like phylloxera. Phylloxera came. These, they were there. So probably something of the things that we are doing from the ungrafted vines that were used for many, many years to the grafted plants were changing. And in this time, we not only changed from not grafting to grafting, but we also changed the way we were grafting. Manual graft, some type of machines, some other types of machines, the introduction of the omega grafting, familiar small nurseries that grafted with a lot of people, and now more and more technified grafting with this type of movement that, of course, we want to make everything faster and cheaper and, if possible, low cost. And, of course, sometimes we find plants like this. These are real pictures from real batches that we sometimes find when we buy plants to nurseries. So we need to make a reflection on this. And of course, we need to know better grafting. To know better grafting, of course, we need time, but we need data, okay? Because I am a scientist. I go to the fields and say, oh, I see, and no, we need data to see what's reality. Observation is very good to formulate hypotheses. I love observation and I learn a lot from growers, but from those hypotheses, we need to get data, okay? So to get data, you need money. We started with some regional projects, and now we are working in 2 European cross-border projects, trying to work in these issues on grafting, and also I will explain on pruning, okay? So when we go to the grafting, these are a normal batch of plants that you can buy. You need to see, and we made like a kind of a scale with the levels of quality of the connection that you can visually measure, okay? You can have like the A, that you have it's difficult to find the omega there, the omega connection. And of course, you have the E, that is a disaster, but you have D and C, and they are quite common when we buy grafted plants. And we are investing a lot of money, and maybe we are not